Next, we have criminal defense attorney Dwane Cates on Trump's guilty verdict. Great to have you, Dwane. Now that you've had Friday and the weekend to mull over Trump's guilty verdict, what are you thinking about it? How, upon further inspection there?
Well, watch what you wish for because I think this is actually helping Trump. While there was 53 million in the first 24 hours, I think there's been well over 100 million since the verdict, and it's been a fundraising boom. You know, he's going to get sentenced. And I think the worst thing they could do is disrupt the Republican National Committee. Uh, you know, the conference because I think that the American public wouldn't react well if they put Trump in jail and he couldn't attend.
And now, critics of Judge Merchan are saying he set the jury up to find Trump guilty. They're citing the jury instructions. Explain how the jury instructions could have impacted the verdict and whether you think there's any merit to this criticism we're hearing about.
Well, the judge is in charge of telling the jury what the law is in the case, and he did a poor job of doing that. At some point, he should have told the jury that hush money payments aren't illegal. Okay, so that never came out. That should have been an instruction that the judge gave. And there were numerous instances of things that the judge instructed on they were just not correct, and those are ripe for appeal.
Now, we know Trump's sentencing date is July 11th, but when could he appeal and on what grounds?
Well, he has 30 days from the date he's sentenced to appeal, and I don't think it will take that long. The appeal is simply a one-page notice of appeal that needs to be filed. That'll probably be filed the day after he's sentenced. That starts a ball rolling, but the appeal is going to take a year or more unless he can get an expedited review, which is pretty rare. There's so I it would take me a half hour to go through all the appellate issues in this case. There are so many. I mean, they didn't let his expert witness testify. The jury instructions were faulty. They let Stormy Daniels go on and on about a salacious sexual, encounter that she signed a paper that said never happened, and that had nothing to do with the charges. Absolutely nothing to do with the charges. Should never have come in. There are so many things here that there is no way this isn't going to get overturned on appeal.
Okay, and Dwane, constitutional attorney Mark Levin is saying that Trump could bypass the New York court system and appeal straight to the Supreme Court of the U.S. How would that even work?
Well, I mean, he would have to file a writ with the Supreme Court and explain why he thinks he needs to bypass the New York Court of Appeals, which is pretty obvious because it appears that the New York court system's bent against Donald Trump, and so he could ask that the Supreme Court take it up. Now, again, he would have to they would have to agree. They don't have to take it up. The Supreme Court never has to take any case. And so, this is the normal process is you appeal to the state appellate court, and then if you lose there, you appeal to the state Supreme Court, and then when you lose there, then you can go to ask the United States Supreme Court to look at it. But there are instances where you can bypass that process.
Okay, and how might the U.S. Supreme Court approach this case should they eventually see it? I know they could be seeing a lot of different appeal options, but
Well, I mean, one of the reasons they might take it up is that it's going to have, it can have, implications in the election. And so they may want to resolve this issue prior to the election, which if it goes through the state system, there's no way that's going to happen. So, they could see this as an exigent circumstance and go ahead and try to resolve this, shortcut this. But, again, that's a big ask for the United States Supreme Court.
all right, criminal defense attorney Dwane Cates, thank you so much.